It's been a debate for decades. Are aliens out there, and have they ever made contact with us? Calvin Parker is now ready to tell the story of the event that would change his life forever.
Strange things appear everywhere. Strange curiosities that capture the imagination and fascinate the masses. Many of them escape the everyday human eye, but luckily drones are there to make us see incredible and often disturbing things. Let's see 100 incredible things captured by drones. Cursed tree. Despite being aware of the ominous aura surrounding the mysterious tree situated in the heart of the village, onlookers were nonetheless astonished when they caught sight of a spectral figure resembling a woman perched atop its branches. With her head bowed downwards, the eerie woman seemed to be searching for something amidst the solemn atmosphere. Locals describe her as the ghost of a young woman who tragically lost all her children in a heartbreaking incident that transpired beneath the same tree a few years prior. Consequently, it is believed that the spectral presence frequently haunting the tree is on a quest to find the souls of the departed children, and vehemently discourages anyone from approaching the tree. Night crawlers. Already unnerved by the dense, shadowy forest, the man swiftly retreated from the woods upon encountering these peculiar entities. Nothing more than a pair of disembodied legs with no discernible features. Yes, just two legs skulking along the trails, but what exactly were they? Well, spotted in the woodlands of Fresno, many have dubbed them Fresno crawlers, likening them to mythical creatures believed to subsist on animal blood and wield sharp claws concealed beneath their limbs, known for launching attacks on unsuspecting prey. UFO spotted. Flying high above, capturing the breathtaking skies of Colorado, the drone unexpectedly caught sight of what looked like a UFO, sparking a wave of controversy over whether it was really spying on humans. The debate continued until the drone owner released thermal footage taken at the same time, which showed an unidentified object moving back and forth in the sky, clarifying some of the initial confusion. However, the true nature of what was captured remains a mystery, adding an air of suspicion to the whole encounter. Scarecrow came alive. A team of explorers was checking out a haunted cornfield when they encountered a scarecrow right in the middle of it. Surprisingly, the scarecrow was standing upright with no visible support. As they swung the camera around, they were startled to see the scarecrow had changed its position. It messed with them for a bit before making a move to attack the drone. After showing itself, the scarecrow tried to conceal itself in the bushes. In a final bold move, it charged at and knocked down the drone. Jungle humanoid. During a bike race in Indonesia, a pair of cyclists encountered a mysterious humanoid creature darting through the bushes. It quickly sprinted ahead of the bikes and, once noticed, vanished into the underbrush. The bikers stopped to search the area but found nothing. Rumor has it that the figure in the video was a member of a pygmy tribe, an indigenous group from Sumatra Island, known for their smaller stature and tendency to flee from outsiders. To this day, their existence is somewhat mythical. Creepy humanoid. This video features a creepy humanoid figure, filmed by two brothers while driving. They spot a man standing in an odd posture, screaming unintelligibly. When one brother questions him, he responds with bizarre noises. Suddenly, the man drops to a crawl and starts moving toward them, terrifying them into speeding away. What do you all think it was? I'm leaning towards a skinwalker or perhaps a possessed person. What are your thoughts? Mythical creature. Panic swept through the locals after a series of mysterious livestock deaths near a Bolivian city. One by one, the animals were discovered either in the jungle or by the roadside, some with injuries on their backs and others with wounded necks. All the injuries were similar, suggesting a single predator was to blame. The alleged culprit was later caught on a drone's camera, a dark bipedal figure with its back turned to the lens. People began to whisper that it might be the legendary chupacabra, known for drinking the blood of animals. However, the true identity of this eerie bipedal creature haunting the fields remains unknown. Isolated tribe. Hidden in the darkest depths of the Amazon rainforest lives an unknown tribe, completely isolated from the outside world. These indigenous people of the Brazilian forest choose to remain shrouded in secrecy. However, a drone flying over the suspected area recently captured images of 16 tribe members, some of whom were armed with arrows. In another incident, when a drone was sent over neighboring woods, it recorded footage of another secretive tribe. This time, the individuals were adorned in red and yellow paints, holding arrows and spears. One of them even threatened a passing helicopter, signaling their hostility towards outsiders. Blair Witch Forest. In this video, a group of guys venture into the Blair Witch Forest to uncover something mysterious with their drone camera. During their exploration, they come across a creepy figure in a scary mask and black robe, clutching a broomstick like some sort of wizard. This mysterious person roams around, trying to dodge the drone. To further spook the guys, the figure plays various tricks on the drone until it ultimately causes the drone to crash. Crazy clown sighting. While exploring an abandoned water park, a group came across a clown lurking around. It climbed up and slid down the slides, spooking the drone operators. It seemed like the clown might actually live there and was annoyed by the drone intrusion. Then, the clown disappeared into a slide, and when it reappeared, well, you see what happened. There's a good chance it's just their friend dressed up. What do you all think is going on here? Electrofishing. This remarkable footage from a drone cam captures two fishermen as fish literally leap out of the water around them, making them easy to catch. However, this isn't a natural phenomenon. It's actually a unique fishing method called electrofishing, where electric current is used to stun the fish, causing them to jump out of the water. While this technique is illegal for recreational fishing, it's utilized for research purposes or to manage invasive species like the Asian carp, shown in this video, taken near the Berkeley Dam. Thermal spotted python. Even the elusive Burmese python isn't escaping drone surveillance, as a recent encounter demonstrates. A thermal drone recently spotted this camouflage predator, which has overrun much of Florida's woodlands and drastically reduced the population of small wildlife. In response to the rising threat, python hunters in Florida have turned to these thermal drones to track down the deadly snakes. Despite the python's formidable nature, watch how it lunged at a hunter just before he managed to capture it. Trapped in marshland. While trying to take a shortcut home from Brancaster Beach, 75-year-old Peter Pugh wandered into a vast marshland. Lost among the dense fields, he slipped and became stuck in the muddy marsh. After several hours without Peter returning home, his worried wife called the local police to start a rescue operation. Just as the police were searching on foot, a drone operator spotted Peter through his camera, still trapped in the creek. Thanks to the drone, officials were able to bring him safely back home. Floating creature. This creature looked like something out of a dragon tale, but was actually a dinosaur species. It really spooked everyone who saw it. Flying through the skies of Spain, this odd creature had a long tail and a sharp snout, marking it as something out of this world. People thought it was some legendary monster known for sucking animal blood, but on closer inspection, many experts identified it as a rare type of pterosaur called Rhamphorhynchus. Weren't these supposed to be extinct? And if they're not, should we be bracing for a dinosaur apocalypse? Trail of mysterious lights. Given the lack of plausible explanations, it's understandable that observers would jump to the conclusion that it was a UFO. In October 2021, residents of Oregon observed a sequence of luminous dots hovering motionless in the sky above Salem. As speculation mounted, the Oregon Air National Guard was reported to be conducting nighttime training flights with fighter jets in the area, which, if true, would explain the presence of fast-moving aircraft in the sky. Attempting to investigate further, a drone pilot tried to fly his drone closer to the source, but his efforts were futile as the objects were positioned too high to reach, fueling theories of a UFO sighting. Lone man. While testing their drone, a group of teenagers spotted a peculiar-looking man walking through the forest. Curious, they flew the drone closer to get a better look, thinking he might be lost. To their surprise, they found out the man was fully armed and even aimed his weapon at the drone, perceiving it as a threat. Initially, some speculated that he might be a member of an undiscovered tribe from the forest, but others believed he could be a bandit. His possession of weapons and suspicious behavior led to theories that he was hiding from the police, especially given recent reports of assaults and burglaries in nearby areas. Lost Man. Here's another incredible drone rescue story. It began when a man called the local authorities after his car plunged into a deep ditch along the Lincolnshire Highway, and he needed immediate help. But when help arrived, he was surprisingly missing from the scene. With no sign of the crash victim, and after searching for 3 hours with no luck, the authorities decided to deploy a drone equipped with an infrared camera. Eventually, the drone found the man curled up on the side of the road, suffering from hypothermia due to the freezing temperatures. Fortunately, they rescued him just in time, and he quickly recovered after being taken to the hospital. Flying weapon. Typically flying his drone over abandoned areas in Utah, the owner decided to navigate through the mountains this time. That's when he discovered ancient fire pits. However, the highlight of the video isn't just that, it's this. As the drone's camera captured a tiny, extremely fast object hurtling straight towards it. Let's take another look. Watch closely. It's not a bird, and definitely not a flying insect. It appears to be some sort of weapon aimed at the drone. Could it have been launched by another person, or do you have another theory? Moose shedding antlers. Moose are majestic creatures that are rarely seen in the wild, which always piques people's curiosity. So, when a man sent his drone up to capture the stunning scenery of a Canadian forest, he was amazed to find a giant moose on the ground below. Hovering above, the drone captured the incredible moment the bull moose shed its antlers, a sight seldom seen on camera. While it's common to find shed antlers in the woods after the breeding season, catching this process as it happens is quite rare. Avalanche captured. While filming an unbelievable avalanche on Vancouver Island in Canada, this guy was totally captivated by the massive wave of snow and didn't realize it could turn back his way. He was shocked to see it heading towards him. Luckily, he was standing on unstable ground and managed to take cover behind a sturdy rock. It was definitely a risky move, but it paid off for him in the end. Rattlesnake pit. Imagine the terror of stumbling into a pit swarming with venomous snakes. A farmer, seeking more land to increase his crop yield, opted to scout the area with a drone rather than going in person. To his shock, he discovered a concealed pit teeming with rattlesnakes. As he maneuvered the drone to gauge the size of the pit, it was abruptly struck multiple times, causing it to crash into the pit. This left the drone pilot with a tough choice: ride off the drone or brave the danger to retrieve it himself. Deer battles hawk. It seemed like a deeply personal matter when a deer charged at a hawk in an unusual wildlife encounter. A wildlife expert was monitoring animal activity with a drone in Nordic Mountain Country Park, Wisconsin, when he captured a striking moment. A deer suddenly dashed towards a red-tailed hawk that was trying to capture a rabbit, apparently intending to harm it. The typically peaceful herbivore stomped on the hawk's chest multiple times without hesitation. Experts speculate that the hawk might have previously killed her fawn, and the rabbit's distress cries could have activated her maternal instincts, prompting her to intervene. Stranded hikers. A drone played a key role in an amazing rescue of hikers who were stuck in Bayous Canyon for 5 hours. A few weeks back, a bunch of young hikers got lost while trekking through Utah's frosty woods. Even though a ground rescue team was sent out to find them, they also deployed a drone. It was the drone that eventually spotted the 2 women. They were safely pulled out of the deep, icy ravine with the help of a hoverer. Drone detects submerged body. Solving a mystery that had been cold for 20 years, a drone owner flying over a crystal-clear retention pond in Florida spotted a car submerged in 14 feet of water. The car turned out to belong to a middle-aged woman who had vanished in 2002, and since then, her disappearance had remained a mystery. After receiving a tip about the sunken car, authorities dispatched a team of divers who pulled a Mustang from the water. But that wasn't all. They also found human remains inside the car, which could be key to finally resolving the case. Dogs befriends polar bears. Given that polar bears are massive, formidable, and among the most aggressive wild animals, witnessing behavior like this comes as quite a surprise. In a rare and fascinating old drone footage from October 2007, captured at an undisclosed location, a group of huskies is seen interacting harmoniously with two fully grown wild polar bears. The bears appear to be playing with the huskies as if they were their own cubs, showcasing a peculiar relationship that has developed between the two species. One thing that is evident is that the bears are not exhibiting any signs of hunger. Lured to safety. When a 3-year-old dog got stranded in a marshland for 2 days and stubbornly refused to come out, jeopardizing the entire rescue operation, the team had to think outside the box. With the tide rising and time running out, they came up with a unique but hopeful plan. They attached a sausage to a rope, tied it to a drone, and flew it close to the trapped dog to coax her out of the rising waters. Fortunately, this unusual strategy worked. Not only did the dog take the bait, but she was also safely returned to her owners. Big seal rescued. Without the watchful eye of the drone, this seal situation could have turned dire. A team from Ocean Conservation Namibia sprang into action when a drone, patrolling the beaches at Pelican Point, spotted a seal entangled in dozens of fishing lines. Despite several initial setbacks, the rescue team eventually succeeded in ensnaring the seal in a net. They then carefully removed 45 strands of fishing line that were tightly wrapped around its neck and body before releasing it back into the wild. Given that the large male Cape Fur seal was resting near the water to escape the heat, the team had to act swiftly and decisively to assist the distressed animal. Migrating elephants. In a rare spectacle, a group of South Asian elephants were spotted migrating through southern China, a sight seldom seen in the region. The elephants captivated onlookers with their charming antics throughout their journey, from raiding farmers' crops to sleeping on the tracks. As they moved north, their unusual migration patterns intrigued even wildlife experts. To observe without disrupting their journey, drones were used to capture the incredible scenes of these migrating tuskers. After 15 months, here they are, safely back in their homes. Flying humanoid. Perhaps aliens have gotten creative and started crafting their spacecraft to resemble human figures. A drone pilot in California was trying out his new drone late at night when he spotted what looked like a human-shaped figure floating high in the sky. Initially, he thought he might be seeing things, but his suspicion was confirmed by a friend, leading him to believe he had seen an apparition of Jesus Christ in the sky. He described how the figure smoothly sailed through the air before descending toward the ground as if it were coming in for a landing. Lava-spared house. While many might attribute it to luck, this appears to be more akin to divine intervention. In September 2021, Spain's La Palma Island was rocked by one of the longest and most devastating volcanic eruptions in its history, lasting a staggering 85 days and obliterating everything in its path, except for a lone home that somehow remained untouched. As footage of the volcanic lava flowing around the home without engulfing it went viral, social media users began referring to it as the Miracle House. The relentless eruption, which spanned 3 months, decimated around 200 houses, dozens of schools, and displaced over 6,000 people, leaving behind a massive cleanup effort. Lion snare rescue. Despite their size, strength, and ferocity, even lions sometimes require human assistance when they're in distress, regardless of their initial resistance. In March 2023, a wildlife ranger monitoring activity at Kruger National Park using a drone observed an aging lion climbing a mountain towards a tree, its neck severely wounded by a snare. Recognizing the lion's suffering, the park authority approved a swift rescue operation for the elderly lion. The lion was tranquilized with a dart gun before a team of veterinarians could tend to its wounds, ultimately putting an end to its suffering. Injured whale swimming. It's astonishing to see how far Moon, the humpback whale with a severe spinal injury, has traveled. Moon was initially discovered on the coast of British Columbia, suffering from a devastating spinal injury. Experts initially predicted that Moon wouldn't survive in the warmer waters off Hawaii due to its condition. However, they were shocked when Moon was spotted 4,000 miles off the Kona coast by the crew of Hawaiian Adventures. Despite its injury, Moon managed to migrate using only its front fins, as moving its tail would have been too painful. It's believed that the injury was caused by a collision with a ship. Whale stranded. Without the assistance of the drone, this whale would likely have faced a distressing fate, stranded and vulnerable. Just a month ago, a lifeguard patrolling Bridlington Beach in the United Kingdom spotted a massive whale stranded in shallow waters near the shoreline. Although the whale appeared immobile to the naked eye, the drone pilot detected slight movements, suggesting the whale was still alive and in need of immediate rescue. The lifeguard promptly alerted the relevant authorities, urging them to take urgent action. Yet, the ultimate fate of the whale remains shrouded in mystery. Deer versus coyote. Using their sharp eyesight and keen sense of smell, coyotes are skilled at not letting a deer slip by unnoticed. They expertly stalk their prey to ensure a successful hunt. In a recent example, a white-tailed deer that had come to a stream to drink was ambushed by a coyote lying in wait. The encounter started with minor attacks, as the coyote continuously nipped at the deer, which tried desperately to fend off the painful bites but ultimately couldn't. In the end, the deer succumbed to its injuries, a fate that seemed inevitable from the start. Search for lost soldiers. Check out this epic story. This footage captures an incredible rescue operation led by Chapman, an air combat officer, back in 1965. A few members of his SEAL team were injured and pinned down near an enemy bunker. Despite the risk to his own life, Chapman didn't hesitate. He bravely moved forward, continuously under enemy fire, to rescue his teammates. His daring action paid off, as he successfully brought all the soldiers back to safety. For his heroic efforts, he was later awarded the Medal of Honor. Moose ditches wolf. It seemed the lone wolf was biting off more than it could chew without its pack nearby. A drone pilot vacationing in northern Ontario, Canada, sent his drone up to capture a bird's-eye view of the forest when he spotted a moose appearing to struggle. The drone's camera revealed a wolf, which, despite its smaller size compared to the moose, bravely attempted to take on an animal several times its size. After several unsuccessful tries in a water body, the lone wolf eventually gave up. Reindeer herd migration. Teamwork makes the dream work is a motto reindeers seem to live by, as they synchronize their movements as one cohesive unit. Each year, reindeer migrate with their herd, demonstrating remarkable coordination to evade predators. Upon sensing danger, they instinctively run in circles, preventing any individual from being singled out and targeted without risking a stampede. Once the herd is gathered, they embark on their annual migration from the Arctic region of Norway to the border of Finland, a journey spanning 2 months and hundreds of miles of snow-covered terrain. This mesmerizing view, captured from a drone, illustrates how reindeer maintain security throughout their migration. Albino whale calf. Gliding through the shallows, this extraordinary pair of whales was spotted off the coast of Australia. What made this sighting even more astonishing was the presence of an albino calf swimming alongside its mother. Identified as a southern right whale, this encounter was considered a rare occurrence. Marine biologists speculate that approximately 5% of whale calves are born white due to a condition known as gray morphism, which diminishes pigmentation in their cells, resulting in albino births. However, these whales typically regain their natural coloring within the first few years of life. Feast on dolphin. Until the introduction of drones, witnessing a shark in action was a rare occurrence for the average person. However, thanks to drones, it has become possible to capture such moments. A drone pilot tracked a great white shark for an hour as it pursued its prey, ultimately capturing a remarkable scene of a seal attempting to escape, albeit unsuccessfully. Additionally, the pilot recorded another significant moment when the same great white shark turned around and began feeding on the carcass of a dead dolphin floating in the ocean. These instances demonstrate that sharks are not just the ruthless apex predators they are often perceived to be, but also play a crucial role as natural cleaners of the seas. Sea serpent. Even with a drone flying overhead, the sea serpent managed to keep a low profile, making only slight movements to maintain its secrecy. curious about a mysterious creature spotted in their town, residents of Lago Ranco, Chile teamed up with a tourist to get a closer look using a drone. Sensing the drone, the sea serpent cleverly used the dark depths and murky waters to hide, eventually disappearing from sight. What do you think this creature could have been? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Duck Army. Amidst the millions of pests infesting the crop fields, this army of ducks proves to be invaluable. Annually in Thailand, a flock exceeding 10,000 ducks is set loose into flooded fields post-harvest to eradicate pests nestled within the stubble. The duck army diligently spends several days to weeks scouring the fields, leaving behind a breathtaking spectacle as they zigzag across the landscape before returning to the duck farm to lay eggs. This organic method of pest control offers mutual benefits to both the breeder and the rice farmer, significantly cutting costs. With multiple flocks deployed, numerous rice fields reap the benefits of this natural cleanup process. Bear chases guy. It seems this grizzly bear was after more than just the recipe of the jogger's grandma. In July 2022, drone footage that went viral captured a man desperately running for his life from a massive grizzly bear. Known for their persistence and intimidating presence, grizzly bears are formidable predators that don't easily give up their chase and can easily outrun humans. Cornered, the man had to climb a tree and hope the bear would lose interest, which, judging by the bear's body language, didn't seem likely anytime soon. To this day, what happened to the man remains unknown. Stranded dog's food delivery. While the majority managed to evacuate promptly, some individuals inadvertently left their pets behind. Amidst the volcanic eruption on La Palma, several pet dogs found themselves stranded and trapped in a home near the affected area. Surrounded by ash with no means of escape, they endured days of starvation until they were discovered by a drone. Two local companies, volunteering to assist those affected, took charge of supplying food and water to these emaciated canines using a drone until they could be safely airlifted to a secure location, as flight operations were considered perilous. Florida Mullet Run. For both fishermen and apex predators alike, the mullet run marks an annual harvest season. This footage, captured by a drone pilot after a week of filming, captures breathtaking moments of sharks in a feeding frenzy during the Florida Mullet Run. The mullet run is a phenomenon where billions of these fish, ranging from fingerlings to fully grown adults, embark on a massive migration along the southeastern coast of Florida, essentially creating an all-you-can-eat buffet for hungry predators. This migration begins annually in late August and concludes by mid-November, reaching its peak during the intervening months. Swimming among sharks. Hidden among hundreds of salmon is the ultimate predator. Incredibly, swimmers at Bondi Beach are seen in the drone footage swimming close to massive sharks, yet neither the humans nor the sharks seem disturbed by each other's presence. This surprising scene caught many off guard, but biologists explain that it's not uncommon for sharks to swim peacefully alongside people. The reason they don't attack is often simply because they're not hungry. As seen here, with their bellies already full of salmon, the sharks have no interest in the swimmers. Door to Hell. The Door to Hell is a natural gas crater in Darvaza, Turkmenistan that has been burning continuously for decades. Legend has it that in 1971, a Soviet oil rig accidentally created the crater, and a geologist set it on fire to eliminate the rig. The flames, fueled by natural gas, have been burning ever since, creating a spectacle reminiscent of an apocalyptic movie scene. This fiery pit has now become a tourist attraction, though the constant burning of fossil fuels poses environmental concerns. Surprisingly, some visitors even venture inside the crater. Would you be brave enough to go in if you had the chance? Eagles hunting drones. In the Netherlands, police are tackling the problem of unwanted or illegal drones in an innovative way by using trained eagles. This low-tech solution addresses a high-tech issue quite effectively. These eagles are trained to spot drones in the sky and use their hunting skills to intercept and bring them down mid-air, then carry them to a designated landing spot. The eagles are motivated by a reward, a treat of meat after each successful drone capture. Impressively, this unique operation has an 80% success rate. Lava in the ocean. Watch as a drone captures the dramatic scene of lava flowing from a volcano into the ocean. While this sight is visually stunning, it leads to the formation of a dangerous substance known as laze. Composed of hydrochloric acid, steam, and volcanic glass shards, this toxic gas poses serious risks to anyone who inhales it. Here's another captivating image of molten lava erupting from an Icelandic volcano. Nestled among snowy mountains, it's almost surreal to witness glaciers on one side and the fiery activity of a volcano on the other. Drone in a tornado. This footage shows a drone capturing a massive tornado tearing through a town in Kansas. The tornado devastated the entire area, swiftly moving and causing significant destruction. Despite the terrifying scene, it's remarkable that no lives were lost, although nearly 1,000 structures were damaged. Impressively, the drone managed to remain steady throughout the entire event, capturing the full extent of the powerful storm. Man trapped in lava. This dramatic drone footage captures the tense moments when a man was trapped by lava flowing from the Kilauea volcano. During the rescue operation, specialized drones were used to locate people caught in the lava and facilitate their rescue. The rescue team was informed that a civilian was stranded in his home, completely encircled by lava, with no escape route. They dispatched a drone to his location, which he was then instructed to follow to safety. With the aid of his cell phone's flashlight, he successfully navigated through the dense jungle and reached safety. School of Fish. Captured by a drone camera over the coast of Long Island, New York, this mesmerizing footage shows thousands of silvery fish moving in a hypnotic swirl. These are menhaden, also known as bunkerfish, swimming tightly together in a large school. This footage was taken off the coast of Bridgehampton, New York, where a storm drove several large schools of fish about 500 meters from the shore. Along with the fish, their predators arrived. Numerous sharks can be seen attacking the schools of fish in a dramatic feeding frenzy. Mass burial. This eerie drone footage captures several men in hazmat suits unloading something into dozens of wooden boxes. It appeared as though they were transferring bodies into coffins. The video quickly went viral on social media, sparking a flurry of conspiracy theories ranging from illegal human trafficking to covert government projects. However, it was later clarified that the scene was actually a mass burial in the heart of New York City, conducted when the morgue exceeded its capacity during the pandemic. Drone hits plane. This footage captures the moments just before a plane takes off from a New York airport. Suddenly, a drone appears, and bam! The plane's wing even starts to tear. I know this sounds super exciting, a drone colliding with a plane, but don't worry, it's all computer generated. This is just a simulated video made using digital effects. But seriously, it looks incredibly real. Drone helps drowning boy. This drone helped save the life of a teen that was about to drown in the water. This all happened in the waters of Valencia in Malvarosa Beach, Spain. The drone hurried to the site and stopped a life-saving jacket towards the boy, which helped him keep afloat until help arrived from the lifeguards. This pioneering drone service has been initiated since 2017 and has 30 pilots working at approximately 22 beaches. Diver dancing with shark. Get ready to hit the dance floor because we've got a unique video of a scuba diver grooving with a shark. Yes, a live shark. This unusual dance took place in an aquarium at the Neptune shopping mall in Russia, where a diver was seen sharing a slow, romantic dance with a shark. While it's unclear how he managed this feat, there's speculation that the shark had been sedated beforehand to make it more docile for the divers. Loch Ness Monster. The elusive Scottish mystery creature, famously known as Nessie, was recently captured by a drone camera swimming along the shores of the loch. The person who recorded this footage didn't even notice Nessie until viewers began pointing it out in the comments of his video. The creature appeared to be a prehistoric giant, similar to a dinosaur, swimming in the shallow waters near the shore. Remarkably, it also matched the shape reported in previous sightings of Nessie. A few years ago, another piece of drone footage featuring Nessie gained fame, this time from Iceland. The video shows a massive mythical aquatic worm moving through icy cold waters. However, some speculated that it was merely a torn fishing net that had frozen in the 87-mile-long river. Iceberg collapse. This dramatic footage captured by a drone shows a massive iceberg collapsing into Disco Bay, Greenland. Initially, the collapse started slowly, with smaller chunks breaking off, but it quickly escalated into a burst and explosion. Huge blocks of ice tumbled from the towering 160-foot iceberg, generating a massive tsunami-like wave. Incredibly, the entire iceberg crashed into the sea in just 7 seconds. The fact that a boat was only 100 meters away from the ice block at the time is truly terrifying. UFO captured by drone. Let's switch gears from natural wonders to something more otherworldly, a UFO caught on drone camera. This footage was recorded in the United States, though the exact location remains undisclosed. The video shows an object hovering above the clouds. Upon zooming in, it looks somewhat like an orb suspended between the clouds, seemingly motionless. Could this be someone or something spying from above, or perhaps a reason why the government restricts drones from flying over 300 feet? Moving trees. Drone footage reveals an eerie scene where a section of ground appears to move up and down, as if it's detached from the surroundings. This spooky phenomenon is actually caused by excessive flooding. This next clip, also captured in the woods, shows a peculiar sight. A group of trees in a forest moving rhythmically, while the surrounding trees remain still. Clearly, this movement isn't caused by the wind. Instead, popular speculation suggests that a Sasquatch might be lurking in these woods, responsible for shaking the trees. Here's another eerie sight. A tree that appears to be breathing, opening and closing as if it has lungs. The ground around the roots lifts, causing the tree to move. It's quite a creepy visual. Mysterious circling sheeps. Here's another weird mystery for you all. In China, a flock of sheep started moving in a strange, circular pattern and kept it up for 12 straight days. No one knows why they did it, but it's creepy enough to give anyone the chills. Their circling almost looked like some kind of ritual, and it's especially odd because sheep aren't known to behave like this. Move over, sheep. Now we've got a mesmerizing clip of hundreds of horses spiraling at the Naadam Festival in China. Why does all the strange stuff seem to happen in China? Well, no need to fret. Unlike the sheep, it's actually normal for horses to do this. Dog rescue. Brian, a dog owner, managed a daring rescue using his drone camera after his dog Meadow went missing in the forest. Despite extensive searches covering miles of terrain, he initially found no trace of Meadow, encountering numerous false alarms from white brushes and sticks. On the 10th day, just as he was about to give up, Brian noticed a small white flicker on his drone's camera. Upon zooming in, he realized it was indeed his dog. He then embarked on a lengthy trek into the forest to retrieve Meadow. After 10 long days, they were finally reunited. Chickens versus locusts. These aren't just your average chickens, they're part of a specially trained army raised by a Chinese farmer. He's nurtured these 70,000 chickens with a specific purpose in mind: to fend off potential locust plagues. The chickens are fed a diet that includes corn, insects, and especially locusts, which they apparently really enjoy. These roosters and hens have now become somewhat of celebrities, even gaining a significant following on social media. It's also quite impressive to see farmers employ such innovative strategies to tackle global crises. Missing woman. An 81-year-old woman with dementia was reported missing from her home in North Carolina after her husband initiated a missing persons campaign. Search teams on foot began looking for her, but faced challenges due to the vast and rough terrain of the rural area. In response, the Randolph County Sheriff's Office deployed a drone to assist in the search. Initially, the drone covered a 40-acre field near her home without success. It then moved over to a dried-up cornfield, where amidst the brown waving stalks, a blur of purple emerged. The elderly woman with gray hair was found sitting alone in the dirt. This is how she was ultimately rescued. Mystery creature. Next up, we have a truly baffling sighting. A boat captain stirred up quite a bit of excitement when he shared a video captured during a cruise off the southeastern coast of North Carolina. The footage shows a dark creature swimming near the shore, leaving everyone puzzled. Viewers were torn, speculating whether it was an alligator, a whale, or even the legendary Loch Ness Monster. Personally, I would have guessed it was a crocodile until I noticed the tail. It has a somewhat prehistoric look. And as for it being a whale, that doesn't quite fit either. The way the creature's head dips below the surface, with its shoulders and tail arching above, it's clear this isn't how a whale moves. Absolutely not a whale. Lost in woods. 6-year-old Ethan and his pet dog went missing in Minnesota, prompting around 600 townspeople to rally together in a massive search effort. The search terrain was challenging, filled with cornfields and swampy woods that were ankle-deep in water. Numerous security officials participated, but it was a thermal drone operated by a Good Samaritan that ultimately led the way. Here is the pivotal moment when the rescuers located the child alongside his dog. In another incident, a boy with special needs went missing in the woods of Ontario, Canada. Despite a thorough search effort, the child remained unaccounted for. It was close to midnight when an infrared camera on a police helicopter detected an object deep within the woods, leading authorities and an ambulance to his whereabouts. Fortunately, he was found in good condition. Man-lifting drones. Drones have advanced significantly in recent times. Instead of being used solely for surveillance or stalking, they are now being developed to transport people from one location to another. These specialized drones can be summoned, allowing individuals to hold onto a metal rail and soar through the sky. They are designed to easily lift a person, with the Volocopter being the first commercial drone capable of carrying passengers, boasting a payload capacity of 350 pounds. While initiating the flight may be straightforward, there's no guarantee that the landing will be equally smooth. However, with proper manufacturing and implementation, these drones have the potential to revolutionize transportation. Fish drop. Utah's Wildlife Division has devised a unique strategy for restocking their lakes with fish for fishing, dropping them directly from airplanes. That's right, airplanes. While it may seem fancy for fish to take a ride on a plane, this unconventional method was adopted due to the logistical challenges of transporting them in large quantities via trucks. Many fish were perishing before reaching their destination, making the aerial approach both practical and, let's face it, pretty cool. Flood in desert. Though it might seem odd, this real footage of water swirling through a desert is quite extraordinary. Captured in Dubai, the video shows the desert flooded after intense rainfall hit the UAE, particularly affecting the cities in the Northern Emirates. As a result, a river formed in the high desert region of Sharjah. This next clip comes from Saudi Arabia, where floodwaters rush through the deep valleys near Medina, resembling blue veins across the marble desert landscape. Some people have dubbed it a sign of the apocalypse, while scientists point to climate change as the cause. Either way, it's a wild sight to see. Sinkhole swallowing trees. Watch a strange and unsettling event as a large section of a forest is consumed by a swamp. This phenomenon is due to a sinkhole in a swamp near Bayou Corn and Grand Bayou. The cause? A salt dome beneath the swamp, operated by a Texas petrochemical company, collapsed, creating this sinkhole that began swallowing the area in 2012. The growing disaster forced the entire local community to evacuate. Since then, the sinkhole has expanded to over 26 acres and reached depths of 750 feet. It continues to grow with no apparent end in sight, making it one of the largest ongoing disasters in the United States. Turtle's mouth. Scientists are out there looking for aliens on far-off planets, but they might be missing a trick. Ever taken a look inside a turtle's mouth? It's like something from another world and could totally freak you out. Just think about the first person who ever dared to look inside. Must have been quite the shock. We're talking about the mouth of the leatherback sea turtle here. The biggest turtle out there that's not a croc. These guys can grow up to 6.5 feet long and weigh over 1,300 pounds. They've got this scary mouth full of what looks like tentacles that are super bad news for jellyfish, which are their main snack. Inside, their mouth is decked out with these sharp, spike-like papillae from the front to the back, making it look like a horror movie set. The mystery spot. Looking for something truly fascinating? We've got just the thing, the mystery spot in Santa Cruz, California. It'll challenge your understanding of physics, leaving you questioning gravity and even doubting Newton. Visitors encounter mind-boggling demonstrations that seem to defy gravity, both uphill and inside a wooden building on site. This spot has gained popularity as a unique tourist attraction, often described as a gravity-defying or tilted house phenomenon. It's so incredible, you might wonder if it's a portal to another dimension. Consider planning a visit to witness these mind-bending experiments. It's definitely going on my bucket list. How about yours? Grass bubbles. This sight is sure to bring tranquility to your senses. Behold the grass bubble, also known as a lawn bubble, born after heavy rains. This natural phenomenon occurs when rainwater flows beneath the roots of the lawn grass, but becomes trapped due to saturated soil beneath, forming a watery bubble cavity beneath the grass. These bubbles are soft, squishy, and utterly tempting to pop. Much like a pimple on your skin, a lawn bubble is essentially a water-filled balloon beneath the grass's surface, capable of growing to impressive proportions, and the irresistible urge to burst it is akin to that of a pimple. Water on fire. Here's something none of us could have foreseen: the astonishing sight of water igniting. Yes, you read that right. Methane bubbles within water can catch fire upon contact, a phenomenon that some scientists deem perilous, cautioning against igniting these bubbles. But as they say, it's hard to argue with the daring. Another chilling spectacle takes us to the Gulf of Mexico, where an underwater oil pipeline, several meters deep beneath the sea off the Campeche coast, caught fire following an oil explosion. This eerie occurrence has earned the ominous nickname the Eye of the Devil. The walking clams. Did you ever imagine that clams could be walkers? Well, it turns out they can indeed amble about, and the motivation behind it is rather intriguing. They do it to attract mates. Both male and female clams have been observed moving toward members of the opposite sex. During their spawning period, hard clams release sperm and eggs into the water column for fertilization. By congregating near each other, these clams increase the chances of successful fertilization. It's worth noting that clams don't have traditional legs. Instead, they utilize a foot-like appendage to drag their bodies from one location to another. Regardless of the reason, there's no denying that their behavior appears quite unusual. How do crocodiles swim? Most of us envision crocodiles lounging in water, gliding effortlessly like fish, but the reality is quite different. Take a look at how these creatures swim. It's rather astonishing, and honestly, quite amusing. When crocodiles swim, they tuck their limbs close to their bodies and navigate by swaying their flexible, laterally flattened tails in a wave-like manner. At slow speeds, only their tails are in motion, while their limbs serve to steer and maintain stability. Despite being cunning predators, it turns out they aren't particularly strong swimmers, and if you ever desire to swim alongside one, consider a visit to the Australian Cage of Death. Egg inside an egg. Imagine craving pancakes, but you find just one lonely egg in the fridge. What's the solution? Crack it open, hoping for a surprise, right? Believe it or not, this isn't a prank. It's a real phenomenon. It's not magic, but rather a scientific phenomenon called counterperistalsis contraction. It occurs when an already formed egg reverses its journey in a hen's oviduct and becomes encased within a second egg during its development. The second egg forms around the first, resulting in the larger size. It's incredible, and one might wonder why such fascinating occurrences never seem to happen in our own kitchen adventures. Clouds falling. I bet you've never witnessed anything quite like this before. It's not your ordinary cotton candy, but a genuine cloud making its appearance on land. Some may argue that clouds are simply water vapor and can't descend to the ground, but that's where fall streak holes, also known as hole punch clouds, come into play. These mesmerizing phenomena occur due to frigid air temperatures and atmospheric instability, creating the illusion of a portion of the cloud plummeting from the sky. And that's precisely what's happening. The science behind it is undoubtedly fascinating, but the visual spectacle is absolutely awe-inspiring. This extraordinary event unfolded in the Middle East, captivating a perplexed motorist who couldn't resist filming it. A segment of the cloud even meandered through a fence, getting temporarily entangled. The man even posed with the cloud and boldly extended his hand into this enchanting phenomenon. Where the two oceans meet. It's not just humans, even our oceans establish their own borders and boundaries, preferring to keep their waters separate. At the southernmost point of South America, the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans seem to meet. In this location, a powerful current carries water from west to east, effectively transferring Pacific water into the Atlantic. But why don't they blend together? The answer lies in their significant disparities and unresolved issues. The North Atlantic is the warmest and saltiest, while the South Atlantic is the coldest and densest. Conversely, the North Pacific is the least dense and least salty. These extreme variations in temperature, density, and salinity prevent them from merging seamlessly into one another. Nazca lines. The Nazca lines consist of a collection of geoglyphs etched into the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. Their creation occurred between 500 BC and AD 500, achieved by individuals who crafted impressions or shallow cuts in the desert surface, extracting pebbles to reveal differently colored earth beneath. While most lines extend straight across the landscape, there are also depictions of animals and plants. The collective length of these lines exceeds 1,300 kilometers, covering an area of approximately 50 square kilometers. Controversy surrounds these figures, with some suggesting extraterrestrial involvement due to the precision of their execution. The prevailing question lies in how ancient humans managed such accuracy, especially when there were no airplanes or advanced technology to oversee such a monumental endeavor at that time. The blue lava. Indonesia's Kawah Ijen volcano, situated on Java Island, is renowned for hosting some of the world's most captivating volcanic lava. It boasts exceptionally high sulfur levels and serves as a hub for sulfur mining. Thanks to its fiery displays, Kawah Ijen is affectionately known as the Blue Volcano. This distinctive azure hue becomes most striking at night, resembling a scene from another world. While the lava itself is typically red or orange, the vivid blue color arises from a concentrated sulfur presence. When sulfur from the volcano's depths breaches the surface, it encounters temperatures of up to 1,112 degrees Fahrenheit, causing immediate ignition and producing blue flames that shoot up to 16 feet into the air, creating a truly mesmerizing spectacle. Lakes inside the ocean. Were you aware that there exist literal lakes within the depths of the ocean? This phenomenon occurs as water rises due to the presence of a dissolved salt layer, causing the ocean floor to collapse and create depressions. The increased density resulting from the dissolved salt causes the water to settle into these depressions, forming what appears to be rivers or lakes. Remarkably, certain creatures thrive in proximity to these underwater lakes. Vast expanses of mussels flourish along the shores of some of these aquatic features. In these extreme ocean depths, sunlight is an exceedingly rare commodity, making these subaquatic ecosystems all the more intriguing. Water tornado. Have you had the chance to witness the incredible water tornado phenomenon? Just like their terrestrial counterparts, these massive vortexes form above bodies of water. A waterspout, or water tornado, is essentially an intense funnel-shaped cloud that manifests over a body of water. While most waterspouts don't pull water into them and are typically small, weak rotating air columns above water, a tornado transitioning from land to water would also be classified as a tornadic waterspout. The sight is reminiscent of a scene from a movie, evoking the feeling that a portal to another dimension has been opened, as if it might draw us in and transport us to an entirely different universe. Creepy humanoid. This video features a creepy humanoid figure, filmed by two brothers while driving. They spot a man standing in an odd posture, screaming unintelligibly. When one brother questions him, he responds with bizarre noises. Suddenly, the man drops to a crawl and starts moving toward them, terrifying them into speeding away. What do you all think it was? I'm leaning towards a skinwalker or perhaps a possessed person. What are your thoughts? Mythical creature. Panic swept through the locals after a series of mysterious livestock deaths near a Bolivian city. One by one, the animals were discovered either in the jungle or by the roadside, some with injuries on their backs and others with wounded necks. All the injuries were similar, suggesting a single predator was to blame. The alleged culprit was later caught on a drone's camera, a dark bipedal figure with its back turned to the lens. People began to whisper that it might be the legendary chupacabra, known for drinking the blood of animals. However, the true identity of this eerie bipedal creature haunting the fields remains unknown. Isolated tribe. Hidden in the darkest depths of the Amazon rainforest lives an unknown tribe, completely isolated from the outside world. These indigenous people of the Brazilian forest choose to remain shrouded in secrecy. However, a drone flying over the suspected area recently captured images of 16 tribe members, some of whom were armed with arrows. In another incident, when a drone was sent over neighboring woods, it recorded footage of another secretive tribe. This time, the individuals were adorned in red and yellow paints, holding arrows and spears. One of them even threatened a passing helicopter, signaling their hostility towards outsiders. Blair Witch Forest. In this video, a group of guys venture into the Blair Witch Forest to uncover something mysterious with their drone camera. During their exploration, they come across a creepy figure in a scary mask and black robe, clutching a broomstick like some sort of wizard. This mysterious person roams around, trying to dodge the drone. To further spook the guys, the figure plays various tricks on the drone until it ultimately causes the drone to crash. Crazy clown sighting. While exploring an abandoned water park, a group came across a clown lurking around. It climbed up and slid down the slides, spooking the drone operators. It seemed like the clown might actually live there and was annoyed by the drone intrusion. Then, the clown disappeared into a slide, and when it reappeared, well, you see what happened. There's a good chance it's just their friend dressed up. What do you all think is going on here? Electrofishing. This remarkable footage from a drone cam captures two fishermen as fish literally leap out of the water around them, making them easy to catch. However, this isn't a natural phenomenon. It's actually a unique fishing method called electrofishing, where electric current is used to stun the fish, causing them to jump out of the water. While this technique is illegal for recreational fishing, it's utilized for research purposes or to manage invasive species like the Asian carp, shown in this video, taken near the Berkeley Dam. Cursed tree. Despite being aware of the ominous aura surrounding the mysterious tree situated in the heart of the village, onlookers were nonetheless astonished when they caught sight of a spectral figure resembling a woman perched atop its branches. With her head bowed downwards, the eerie woman seemed to be searching for something amidst the solemn atmosphere. Locals describe her as the ghost of a young woman who tragically lost all her children in a heartbreaking incident that transpired beneath the same tree a few years prior. Consequently, it is believed that the spectral presence frequently haunting the tree is on a quest to find the souls of the departed children, and vehemently discourages anyone from approaching the tree. Night crawlers. Already unnerved by the dense, shadowy forest, the man swiftly retreated from the woods upon encountering these peculiar entities. Nothing more than a pair of disembodied legs with no discernible features. Yes, just two legs skulking along the trails, but what exactly were they? Well, spotted in the woodlands of Fresno, many have dubbed them Fresno crawlers, likening them to mythical creatures believed to subsist on animal blood and wield sharp claws concealed beneath their limbs, known for launching attacks on unsuspecting prey. UFO spotted. Flying high above, capturing the breathtaking skies of Colorado, the drone unexpectedly caught sight of what looked like a UFO, sparking a wave of controversy over whether it was really spying on humans. The debate continued until the drone owner released thermal footage taken at the same time, which showed an unidentified object moving back and forth in the sky, clarifying some of the initial confusion. However, the true nature of what was captured remains a mystery, adding an air of suspicion to the whole encounter. Scarecrow came alive. A team of explorers was checking out a haunted cornfield when they encountered a scarecrow right in the middle of it. Surprisingly, the scarecrow was standing upright with no visible support. As they swung the camera around, they were startled to see the scarecrow had changed its position. It messed with them for a bit before making a move to attack the drone. After showing itself, the scarecrow tried to conceal itself in the bushes. In a final bold move, it charged at and knocked down the drone. Jungle humanoid. During a bike race in Indonesia, a pair of cyclists encountered a mysterious humanoid creature darting through the bushes. It quickly sprinted ahead of the bikes and, once noticed, vanished into the underbrush. The bikers stopped to search the area but found nothing. Rumor has it that the figure in the video was a member of a pygmy tribe, an indigenous group from Sumatra Island, known for their smaller stature and tendency to flee from outsiders. To this day, their existence is somewhat mythical. Creepy humanoid. This video features a creepy humanoid figure, filmed by two brothers while driving. They spot a man standing in an odd posture, screaming unintelligibly. When one brother questions him, he responds with bizarre noises. Suddenly, the man drops to a crawl and starts moving toward them, terrifying them into speeding away. What do you all think it was? I'm leaning towards a skinwalker or perhaps a possessed person. What are your thoughts? Mythical creature. Panic swept through the locals after a series of mysterious livestock deaths near a Bolivian city. One by one, the animals were discovered either in the jungle or by the roadside, some with injuries on their backs and others with wounded necks. All the injuries were similar, suggesting a single predator was to blame. The alleged culprit was later caught on a drone's camera, a dark bipedal figure with its back turned to the lens. People began to whisper that it might be the legendary chupacabra, known for drinking the blood of animals. However, the true identity of this eerie bipedal creature haunting the fields remains unknown. Isolated tribe. Hidden in the darkest depths of the Amazon rainforest lives an unknown tribe, completely isolated from the outside world. These indigenous people of the Brazilian forest choose to remain shrouded in secrecy. However, a drone flying over the suspected area recently captured images of 16 tribe members, some of whom were armed with arrows. In another incident, when a drone was sent over neighboring woods, it recorded footage of another secretive tribe. This time, the individuals were adorned in red and yellow paints, holding arrows and spears. One of them even threatened a passing helicopter, signaling their hostility towards outsiders. Blair Witch Forest. In this video, a group of guys venture into the Blair Witch Forest to uncover something mysterious with their drone camera. During their exploration, they come across a creepy figure in a scary mask and black robe, clutching a broomstick like some sort of wizard. This mysterious person roams around, trying to dodge the drone. To further spook the guys, the figure plays various tricks on the drone until it ultimately causes the drone to crash. Crazy clown sighting. While exploring an abandoned water park, a group came across a clown lurking around. It climbed up and slid down the slides, spooking the drone operators. It seemed like the clown might actually live there and was annoyed by the drone intrusion. Then, the clown disappeared into a slide, and when it reappeared, well, you see what happened. There's a good chance it's just their friend dressed up. What do you all think is going on here? We came across this image on the internet. It was apparently taken by a drone in the Asian continent. The closest the owner of this drone could get to it, for fear that it could be discovered, is exactly what we see in the image. With that, we can observe this rather large building in the middle of a desert. The owner of the drone claims that it is a place similar to Area 51 Inches in the United States, where secret research and projects are being carried out. What do you think? Is this a delirium on the part of this person? Or are we in front of a valid and viable theory? We are reading you. Electrofishing. This remarkable footage from a drone cam captures two fishermen as fish literally leap out of the water around them, making them easy to catch. However, this isn't a natural phenomenon. It's actually a unique fishing method called electrofishing, where electric current is used to stun the fish, causing them to jump out of the water. While this technique is illegal for recreational fishing, it's utilized for research purposes or to manage invasive species like the Asian carp, shown in this video, taken near the Berkeley Dam. Thermal spotted python. even the elusive Burmese python isn't escaping drone surveillance, as a recent encounter demonstrates. A thermal drone recently spotted this camouflage predator, which has overrun much of Florida's woodlands and drastically reduced the population of small wildlife. In response to the rising threat, python hunters in Florida have turned to these thermal drones to track down the deadly snakes. Despite the python's formidable nature, watch how it lunged at a hunter just before he managed to capture it. Thanks a lot for tuning into the video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so you never miss out on our future awesome videos. Thanks again for your support.